What up, everyone? It's Ryan Wilson. You gonna eat that crust podcast. Are you a fan of spine-chilling tales, creepy creatures, and all things horror? Listen to LK the Horror Nerd. He offers in-depth reviews of movies, books, and games, exclusive interviews, and chilling discussions. That's right, folks. Check out LK the Horror Nerd, another podcast on the You Run Podcast Network. Check it out, y'all.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the You Gotta Eat That Crust podcast, Stuffed Crust edition. I'm your host with the most on the ones and twos, Ryan Wilson. And with me tonight, the sweatpants overlord, follically challenged himself, motherfucking Greg Hoey. Greg, what's good?
What's up, everybody? Everything's great. Fantastic. My favorite word.
Greg, is it great?
Tony the Tiger, baby.
Fantastic. Also, special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fuck, am I excited for this. From the WTFRUDoing Podcast. I don't know your fucking names. Just say your goddamn names.
Well, I'm E-Bitty. I'm Hearn Dizzle.
Yeah, see,
That's
I
the
don't
name
know.
of the pod. That's the name of the pod's the hard part.
Well, I'm thriving. It's 2020 Thrive. Let's go, baby.
Thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Before we get really, rapid fire, kick it off, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what the fuck you're doing?
Biddy,
Well,
go for it.
I guess I'll tell a little bit about it. Hearn Dizzle and I, we've been friends for a very long time, and we wanted to do a podcast because we're always doing some fucking shit, whether we're going out to a concert, we're watching a movie or something, and we wanted to tell the people about it, so we created a podcast, so that way we could get all our stuff off our chests here and entertain you people, and,
Yeah, it basically wrangles all of our ADHD, and we can just talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Exactly. And being with our friends, we like to do, music. We covered a few stories about people down in the Ozarks, people down in Florida, talking about all kinds of different things, including follically challenged. And you can eat that Crunch podcast.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to have you guys. I'm super excited, I'm a music guy. I basically discovered Greg. He was a nobody before he met me. He's like, I play football. And I was like, Greg, I see so much more than that in you. And, now here we are.
He plays football. I never even talk about it.
Yeah, I went from semi-pro football to semi-pro musician. Just kidding. I'm a scrub.
I don't know. You crush it.
Yeah, you guys are pretty damn good, I gotta say.
Aw.
It's a party band. It's a party band. I love it.
Stop giving me compliments. I don't like it.
I'm not going to give you compliments, Greg.
I know you won't.
Cover bands for me. We're not here to talk about cover bands. We're not here to talk about Greg's semi-pro football career. Today, we are here to talk about controversial musicians.
Yeah.
And bands. And
groups.
Super excited to talk about this because it was my idea. And Greg's like, fuck it, I'm going to do it without you because you weren't available. So, I sabotaged that. And now here we are.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very controversial of you.
Yeah, well, I am the villain of the band, as the villain of the podcast.
Can you give us your best evil laugh? Like your dude, I'm in.
I've been practicing for too long.
It's official.
That wasn't evil enough.
No, Craig. Really phoning that one in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys ready to kick shit off or what?
Fuck yeah.
I absolutely am.
Great. All right, Greg. Well, I know you got a listicle.
Mhm.
So why don't you get us started?
Why don't we start out with Milli Vanilli, Rob Pilatus, and Fab Morvan, best singers on the planet.
Best pantominers on the planet.
They made lip syncing cool before it was lip syncing.
Yeah, they were cooler before Ashley Simpson did it on Saturday Night Live.
I feel like she got hit harder almost because it was right on SNL, it was right on live TV. But Milli Vanilli, these guys at least had like class. They had some dance moves and shit.
I actually think Ashley Simpson doing that weird little fucking dance after she got busted is what really garnered the most controversy. It's like, what are you fucking doing?
Yes, it was like a discount fucking Milli Vanilli dance.
Yes. She should have stuck to the Running Man. She just started doing the Running Man right there.
Always.
So, Greg, how did this controversy get discovered? I guess is what I'd like to know.
So, July 21st, 1989, during a performance at Lake Compound in Bristol, Connecticut, the Mustard Smugglers area, they were doing a performance of Girl, You Know It's True. And at the end of the track, it started just skipping like, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, etc. And they didn't know what to do, so they just did the Running Man right off the stage.
God damn it, I wish I could see that.
Yeah.
Do they have a video? Is there video of that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I have to watch that, dude. That, like, the fact that like one of them does the Girl You Know It's and the other guy didn't even think to shout out remix. Like
they got busted for that, and then in 1990, the producer Frank Farian admitted that it was all session musicians who sang all Milli Vanilli songs, and Brad Howell and Jonathan Davis from Korn actually were the singers.
Are you ready?
Yeah, that would have been awesome if they, instead of like their track skipping, all of a sudden like just Jonathan Davis started fucking singing like Korn.
They don't have like a contingency plan. You know, something was bound to fuck up at some point. Like, you know, they had to go full admitting that they aren't the artists instead of just saying, "Oh no, we were just doing a backing track for that particular, you know, night." Why couldn't they just, you know, call bullshit for that night?
it was what year was
1989.
Yeah, nobody would have fucking known that they didn't mean to do that. Like I would have totally played that off. Like, yeah, we were just fucking with you guys, you know.
I would have told everybody I was a robot. Seamus, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I don't want to.
Holy shit! Unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen. Making a comeback. Seamus, the mustard smuggler Rogers, is back in the house. Seamus, what's good?
What up? Hopefully, I'm a little less boisterous this time.
You sound
Okay.
amazing. Perfect.
Yeah, you sound like an angel.
Yeah,
I'm so
my
hard now.
mic volume control was at 100%.
Oh, Seamus.
Well, that's
You-
why you
you-
were clipping.
You gotta
That's
say,
why I was shouting at you all.
What's volume control?
all right. Well, Seamus, we just discussed Milli Vanilli.
Oh.
I know that.
Don't blame it
band
on the
means
rain.
I know it means a lot to you. Is there anything you'd like to add about Milli Vanilli?
Just that I think that they were one of the best organic singers that have ever been in the business. Voices of Angels.
Now, Seamus,
Absolutely.
who's your favorite Vanilli?
I would say, and.
Okay. I'm more of a Fab Morvan guy, but Rob Pilatus, whatever, ended up committing suicide. Or not committing suicide, he died of alcohol and a prescription drug overdose. So yeah, I guess that is
Yeah, I
kind of
remember that.
suicide.
Well,
Sad.
I do remember watching an interview, and they did state, I remember he was really, really depressed, and his way of trying to commit suicide is sleeping around. He tried to have unprotected sex with numerous people out there to get AIDS or something to die. That was his way of saying he tried to commit suicide.
Death by STDs.
Capone would say that isn't a good way to go out.
Nor would Eazy-E.
Oh,
That's another controversial one right there.
that's a good segue into NWA. Formed in 1986 to 1991, highly controversial due to lyrics which often glorified gang life, drug use, violence, and they expressed strong criticism towards the police authority. Of course, Eazy-E died of AIDS in 1995, March 26th.
Oh.
He did, yeah. The AIDS.
The AIDS.
Who went out first, him or Freddie Mercury?
Oh, Freddie. Actually, it's a good call. I don't know when.
Wasn't it around the same time?
Actually, didn't Freddie Mercury die in the 90s?
I thought he died in the early 90s, but that's what I'm saying. Which one went
I
out?
was going to say Eazy was mid-90s.
Yep. That's right. I just said that too. And I was like, didn't he die in the 90s? Like Eazy died in the 70s or something?
95 was the 90s.
Yeah. It's halfway through.
Graduated that year. That's a sad thing.
I was born in 1995.
Now, Dr. Dre's a bitch. I'm sorry. You know? He's like, oh, stop downloading my music off LimeWire. It's taking money and food out of my kids' mouths. It's like, you used to be dope. What happened to you?
Eazy-E kind of fucked him over. Eazy-E was like kind of stealing their money in a way, or trying to like take control with that. I forgot what that producer's name was, or the manager they had there. That old white dude.
Hate old white dudes.
Well, it looks like I'll see myself out.
It surprised me that they were trying to steal something. Old white dudes, they do that all the time.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
Now, guys, I've heard this rumor, I don't know if it's true, but I heard a rumor that Suge Knight injected Eazy-E with the needle that gave him AIDS. Thoughts?
Suge Knight is full of controversial.
I think he was injecting his needle into some dirty women. I think that's where he got it from.
Alex, I'll take AIDS for 500.
Maybe he'll spread it to the rest of NWA.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to, give a disclaimer that we don't think AIDS is funny. It's not funny. I think it still exists. And it was also, Eazy-E was the inspiration for the Tom Hanks vehicle, Philadelphia.
Magic Johnson supports this message.
Pretty funny Ween song, though.
All right, let's move on, Greg. What do you got next for us?
All right. Let's talk about the band that formed in Detroit in 1989. A little guy named Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. Talking about ICP.
Damn.
Malaiko.
Fuck you.
Juggalos. The Juggalettes. Where are you at, listeners?
You got Juggalo support on this end.
And the beef they have with Eminem, who's also another controversial artist, right? He doesn't have a soda sponsoring him.
He doesn't have his own joke.
I don't know if that's official, but I don't know what kind of acting gigs the clowns are getting. But Eminem had some roles and getting more.
I think we've all seen Big Money Hustler.
Big Money Hustlers and a fat titty bitch.
That's hilarious because I actually have a copy of Big Money Hustler sitting right in front of me.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we got to dig out an old VHS player. That's for sure.
That could be an episode on its own.
Hey man, this had Mick Foley in it as Cactus Sack.
We're gonna have to watch that. We're gonna have to do a watch along on that
It's
one.
got an all-star lineup.
Harlan Williams.
Williams is in it.
Yeah. My guy.
And I think there's been some messing with some minors that unfortunately Violent J had some accusations. So that's a little more controversial.
Yeah, their former publicists accused the group of sexual harassment. And I mean, let's be honest, the more controversial thing is probably their fans.
They're hardcore.
I mean, they are in a gang. So, maybe you can get the gathering of the Juggalos and maybe firebomb the whole area. Eliminate some of the people.
And if we're gonna talk about people from Detroit that are controversial, not for nothing, but Kid Rock had a little person as a mascot.
Right.
So,
Can't do that anymore.
R.I.P. Joe C.
Did he die of AIDS too?
Did he steal his ideas from Austin Powers?
He died of height.
I feel like
He grew too big for his own body.
His heart grew 2 times that day.
I knew him when he was knee high.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we should make some sort of act to abolish Kid Rock in general. He's kind of the worst. And look, guys, unabashedly, I am a recovering ICP fan.
I think we all are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still check in with them from time to time, see what's going on. They're not making any good music at all, as it turns out. Still making music though, but I always will respect the way that they fucking did it all themselves, like fucking door to door, fucking selling shit out of their trunks. They built that shit themselves, and you have to respect that hustle no matter what.
I mean, magnets, how do they work?
I mean, what's more controversial, liking Insane Clown Posse or used to listening to Fish?
Oh,
God, I'm going Fish right off the bat. We literally, I left a concert that we saw ICP at because Fish came on. I'm like, does anybody here give a fuck if we leave? And they said nope, and we left.
the sky is divided on this one. I think the most controversial Detroit band might be the Dewey Pod Monster podcast.
Oh shit!
Our rivals. They're our rivals, our biggest rivals on the You Run Podcast Network. We have like a tag team match set in the future.
Clearly, they're the heels and we're the heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, with a face.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, and I wanted to touch upon this, but ICP and Twisted, big falling out, and I was like, what the fuck happened with all this? So I put on my fucking Sherlock Holmes cap, did some fucking research, watched some interviews, and holy shit, it was so much crazier than I could have fucking imagined. So, Twisted signed this band to Psychopathic Records, apparently, and one of the members started the member of the band that Twisted hired started kind of having a relationship with Violent J's daughter.
Hey.
So Violent J's like, look,
the band that Twisted pulled in, one of the members of that band. Okay.
So Violent J's like, look, motherfuckers, like we signed you, we're gonna take care of you. Stay the fuck away from my daughter.
Don't fuck my daughter.
I don't want you. I don't want to fucking mix that life,
Clear rules if you don't want to mess with the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy's like, absolutely. All right. I got it. Doubles down, though, goes behind his back, gets her pregnant.
Oh.
Twisted takes them with them and starts their own label. And fucking, it's been all fucked up by that. Now they all hate each other and it's all bad blood everywhere. And Violent J said, there's no fucking chance I'm never going to let those motherfuckers back into my life. And that was a storied relationship. They were running together for fucking decades.
So I imagine some
Yeah.
battle raps or some, hate or diss tracks came of that, right?
I tried finding some, but I couldn't find too many, I've only heard them talk shit about each other in interviews and shit.
I mean, the band wins. They'd be like, we fucked your daughter. What's up?
Yeah, and you're not allowed to see your grandchild.
ICP responded with a diss track where they were like, procreation, how does that work? So that is, I don't know. That almost makes Twisted more controversial, I'd say.
I mean, they do say the N-word as white rappers, so that's kind of controversial.
That's very much
true.
Yeah, I did. I did go back and listen to that song "Secondhand Smoke," and Monoxide Trial drops like 5 N-bombs in like the first verse. I'm like, wow, all right, man. Like,
that's a shame because he was probably the best rapper out of all of them.
Yeah,
in my opinion, Monoxide Child is pretty badass. Oh wait, no, who is Monoxide Child? What's the other one?
Jamie Madrox is.
Jamie Madrox is who I'm thinking about. I'm sorry.
All right, well, Greg, what do you have next on this list of controversial?
I mean, what about 1998 debut album 1992 talking about body count? Cop killer!
I tell you what, Greg, I love me some iced tea. You know what I'm saying? It's like I make that music is sure it's controversial, but I gotta keep putting out that music and being on SVU spinoffs.
More controversial is that he actually has acting jobs.
Yeah.
As a cop.
More controversial is that he's also Mike Tyson.
Like I saw him at concert probably about 4 years ago, and people didn't even know that he was a rapper. They all knew him from Law and Order.
That's great.
What the hell is this Law and Order guy doing here? Is this Law and Order live?
That guy can rap.
I bet it boosted reruns though.
Yeah.
How come he doesn't do the theme music? Is my question.
Just the.
Is there any lyrics?
He should
rap
have
that
sampled that.
Yeah.
That was
You can't rap over that?
MC Dick Wolf.
That's a better name than Ice-T. I'll say that.
Look, man. Body count is not good. You know, I'm glad they had their moment with that one song, I guess. But
he had like one, maybe two good songs.
yeah, I did like the movie Surviving the Game, though.
Oh shit! Yeah, hell yeah, Gary Busey vehicle.
Yeah, that was a good movie. His acting wasn't great in it, but we still enjoyed it.
Public Enemy was probably a little more controversial.
Yep. Flavor Flav. He's living proof you can have AIDS and still live.
And Clock Envy.
Clock Envy.
Hey.
Look how big my clock is. Yeah, I mean, obviously the album from Body Count flamed racial tensions, and album, I don't know the album itself, but you know there was linked to at least 2 shootings of cops because cop killer. I remember the skit in the album where he was like fishing with donuts.
What about that?
It was like bait for donuts. Oh, this is a strawberry cream or strawberry frosted.
Can't resist.
No.
Hip hop had a lot of controversy in the 90s, that's for sure.
Yep.
2 Live Crew, I would say, was right up there with them.
Oh, yeah. Fucking the Miami fucking hip hop group. They were like almost arrested for performing their songs in public.
We've now seen that controversy sells, you know?
Yep.
Even bad news is good news.
Well, some of these groups and bands paved the way for these people to gotta get away with shit. It's like being like the 4th kid in your family when your parents are super strict to all the people growing up, and then when they get to you, they're like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck."
See, that's wow. Talking about my life, I'm the 4th child, and they just gave up after me. Did I have parents? I don't recall.
Did you have a key to get in? That's all you need.
Yeah. I came in through a window.
You know how to cook, you know how to clean, you're good.
It kicked me out. It kicked me out when I was like 8. I just come back in and raid the fridge during the day.
Look, all right. Well, I don't know a whole lot about 2 Live Crew. All right. You know, I wasn't. It's not where I was at mentally at the time. I wasn't ready for that level of controversy.
Oh, me so horny.
Yeah, but Biddy, what about 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, their album, As Nasty as They Want to Be, was ruled obscene by a federal court, but it was later overturned. Yeah, they didn't last long. Like, I mean, they came out swinging, and they were probably the most controversial lyrically group that came out. I mean, but again, like people weren't used to it. It was like, you know.
Well, yeah, but they were
middle school at the time.
But they were challenging like legal battles, like freedom of speech and stuff. So they
for sure
stepped up for everybody, and you know they had a lot of sexually explicit lyrics, but you know, First Amendment. Or second? I don't remember.
It's one of those amendments.
It's one of the first.
It's one of the first ones up there.
I think it's the second, actually.
Yeah, one of their dudes, Fresh Kid Ice, died in 2017 of cirrhosis of the liver, and then another member, Brother Marquis, died in 2024 at 58 with a heart attack.
And in relation to Biz,
it's his brother.
Shit.
I remember that time. Biz Marquis was the only other one out there at the time, and man, that song was rugged. You got what I need.
Controversial opinion that he can send.
Nowadays you can have as many
controversy I have is I didn't know if he was. I thought he was mentally deficient. I didn't. I thought there was something wrong with him.
Put away.
Well, Living Color was popular then.
He was actually handyman, and he gained a bunch of weight.
Biz Markie is a legend. I'm not going to sit here while you besmirch his good.
I know he is, and he was huge in the Beastie Boys' rise, and
He was just a friend.
he was a huge talent for sure.
It's still a huge. Even that song, everybody knows that song. Even
Yep.
So horribly out of tune, you can't forget it.
I think he was tone deaf. That was it.
It's the only time that you can impersonate a person with Down syndrome and get away with it. And like groups of people will do it.
Well, there's a state, I believe it's illegal to sing out of tune, man. So I don't think you can actually sing in that area. I think it was North Carolina. So literally a law in the book says you can't sing out of tune in public.
Oh shit! That we Follically Challenge could never sing there. Then
Yeah, bro, you cannot sing out of that area.
You're barred from that state.
I'm an amputee. I can't carry a tune.
Tismar out of key.
Stick to the Lizzo songs, Greg. You'll be fine.
Dude, Lizzo crushed last night.
I'm
Literally,
sure it did, little buddy.
you sat on everybody.
Hey,
Since you don't know
Lizzo's
Zepic-
losing weight.
Zepic, she's not.
Yeah, she's not.
crushing anymore.
Yeah, bro.
You gotta get
Plus-
rid of that fancy of your way to go out.
Plus, did you realize that Lizzo did like 4 songs with POS?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't fucking know.
What piece of shit you talking about?
Hey, it's Promise of Stress, who's also controversial.
Yeah, whatever. He was just a dickhole. Yeah, he cheated on his girlfriends.
Yeah, but
Ah.
she said they were just friends.
Hey,
You said you loved me. All right, I want to talk about a band. All right. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but I enjoy their work. All right. They've been in one feature film called Chappie. And I'm talking about motherfucking Die Antwoord.
Word.
Diane.
Yeah, South African hip hop duo. Motherfucking Ninja and the fucking chick. Yolandi. They're fucking, I like their music, man. I think they're fucking sick, but they've garnered a lot of fucking controversy along the way. You know, they've done blackface in videos. They call themselves
pedophile, like abductors in their videos. And
well, so that's kind of the big one, right? Is they adopted this motherfucking kid, and this kid, it looks weird as fuck. He looks like he would be in that movie Gummo.
I thought you with the mask.
But
I mean, the two of them look like the twins from Matrix Revolution.
they do. But so they adopted this kid, right? And this kid later goes on record saying, "Is like, oh, my adopted parents used to have like orgies in front of me when I was a little kid, and then they would take my blood, and their friends would all drink it for satanic rituals, and they would have sex in front of me when I was a little kid and shit." So, you know,
Adrenal glands? Is it Hillary Clinton in this band?
so, you know, that kid, people don't know how credible all that shit was because it's pretty fucking far out, but they're also super fucking weird, far out people. So they were canceled effectively for a little while, but then they just suddenly, they're like, you know what? Fuck it. And they went on fucking tour again and they crushed and fucking still sold out every fucking show they did. So they uncanceled themselves.
yeah, they were like a married couple, and then they weren't married. I don't know if they're together anymore.
I've never even heard of these guys.
They got some good music.
What's their name again? Diane?
Yeah, they do.
Die Antwoord.
Diane Wood.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're hip hop?
Yeah,
they
hip
have,
hop,
like,
electronic shit. Like the chick in that band is super fucking talented, dude. Her fucking when she raps, she's on point.
When she raps, she's fucking?
Raps.
That is impressive.
That's some breath control.
You must have seen the movie Chappie, Greg.
I know. When I think of Chappie, I just remember you making fun of Brian Chaplin, like Chappie. I know that's the same people who did District 9, and it's about that robot named Chappie.
Yeah,
they
were in it. They had some stellar acting.
Oh, they were in the movie as well, not just their songs?
Oh yeah, they were.
And the
Robot.
It's basically just a cooler Short Circuit, Greg.
I am Chappie 5.
Hey, Short Circuit was a good.
Just when he asked for input, they showed him where the inputs were. It was a little bit.
Speaking of blackface, they did Indian face and Short Circuit.
And Short Circuit, yeah, pretty.
Gag me with a fork.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
You would be kissing my.
What do you got next, Greg?
I'm going to talk about an English punk band named the Lost Prophets.
Nice.
And these guys were supposed to be the next Good Charlotte.
Whoa, what an accomplishment.
I know. But this dude was like grooming his fans, and he's in prison for the rest of his life right now. The lead singer.
Now, when you say grooming, do you mean like combing their hair and like laying out their clothes for them in the morning?
I don't think it was that kind of grooming.
Okay.
nor a dog grooming either.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Did they like arrest
35
arrested
years.
and shit?
He's been sentenced to 35 years.
He got 35 years?
Yeah, he did.
Damn.
13.
That's
Sexual
13
assault?
Mexicans.
That's 13 311 singers. Esther Martinez is.
I don't think it was that fast.
Oh, damn.
I'll
So, multiple sexual offenses against children, infants, and animals.
That's right. Yeah, that's
What?
right.
He had a stand-up dude.
Yeah, he had a thing for babies. That's right. Like he was like grooming like
What?
babies. Like, hey, yeah.
How do you groom a baby? They can't do anything.
They don't have any hair. How are you going to comb it?
I had a full head of hair when I was born. I needed an instant groomer. I had a hairstylist immediately.
Seamus does have the best hair on the podcast. That's true.
Now, did these motherfuckers start out? You guys, if we keep this up, we're going to be the next Good Charlotte. Is that where you're aiming as a band?
I mean, didn't have a lot of positive influence growing up, so they just like, we can't shoot for the stars, but bring our realistic expectations down here. Maybe we can get a hit out there.
Yeah, he heard that news and was like, shit, I need to start some controversy to get the fuck
Right?
You have any babies? Sounds like they were the next
All right,
bad Charlotte.
give me your goat. How much for the goat?
Bad Charlotte.
This dude's fucking babies and animals. Like, Jesus, man.
What are you, Jared Fogle?
Not just fucking raping.
Jesus.
It's a controversial
I wanna go
episode,
to jail,
actually.
bro. Yeah. Edit that.
All right, I'm gonna tell you guys about a band that you've never heard of. Oh shit. Okay, here it is. I watched a documentary about these motherfuckers on YouTube because it was, and I watched it like last summer, and it was just titled "The Most Controversial Band." I was like, all right, well, let's see what this is about. And the name of the band is Hanatarish. So Hanatarish is a Japanese noise band. It's like noise rock. Think of like the shittiest parts of Sonic Youth.
But Yoko Ono.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
The
So-
shitty part of John Lennon.
Yeah, the Plastic Ono band. So this motherfucker literally got a bulldozer, drove it through the venue that they were playing at, and destroyed the stage and destroyed the wall. Grabbed a Molotov cocktail and was going to throw it into the audience before he was then tackled by the audience.
Jesus.
Yeah, and eventually the band they were just banned all over the world, banned in Japanese. I mean, the guy picked a cat up, sliced it in half with a machete and threw it into the crowd, strapped a circular saw onto his back and let it run the entire time. It was running around the audience and almost cut his own fucking leg off. I mean,
Well, it sounds like his fans were not metal enough.
hey, you guys are legends.
Hey, you want to go see this show and get cut by a blade? Cool.
Oh,
His
there's video of the
Killdozer?
the excavator, yeah, like going through the.
Yeah, his son grew up to be Killdozer.
This music is just the noises that they're making from all the stuff that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doing. They're like, what? This is our
Yeah. They'd put saws on chains and shit, like trash cans and anything they could find, basically. Great stuff, though.
This new song is called Saw Blade on Flesh. Dig it.
Bands just aren't committing like this anymore, and I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took what the Blue Man Group do and went to 11.
I don't know, just throw it up there with the G.G. Allens of the world.
Ooh, yeah.
G.G. Allen, New Hampshire resident, G.G. Allen.
Yeah, isn't he from like Lancaster or something?
Yep. Lancaster, New Hampshire.
Yeah, I grew up listening to a little bit of G.G. Allen. My brother was a huge G.G. Allen fan. He actually went and visited his grave and shit. His grave, which is constantly being shit on and pissed on, and but I actually have a weird story that kind of ties into it. So, I work at a restaurant, and there's a fucking shithole restaurant next door called Lee Frank's, and there was always this guy.
The beef continues.
Well, this is a separate beef. So there was always this guy outside just ripping butts, like 20 butts a day at least in like an 8-hour shift. All right. Now, if you go out to the parking lot, you'd see a car with a skull spray painted on the back of it. Then it just says Jim Danger. So I see he has a YouTube link also below. So I start looking up this motherfucker shit. He was like a Portsmouth area kind of punk musician. He was like in his 50s or some shit. He tried to interview at our place. He's like, look, I'll be the best worker you guys ever had, but I am going to need a cigarette break every 15 minutes.
Oh my, the audacity. You better be like a 5-star chef.
So we didn't hire him, needless to say. But we got a new cook at my place. His name's Ace. And we start telling about, Ace, you got to hear about this guy, Jim Danger. Me and Greg, regale him with the tale of Jim Danger. And he's laughing, and he goes home and looks up his music. Motherfucker, next day sends me an obituary for Jim Danger. Stage 4 lung cancer, dead.
Oh, shit. Who would have taken that?
Connected to the obituary, though, was a fucking podcast link recorded 11 days before he died, in which he regales the audience of his days being G.G. Allen's driver and how he was almost in G.G. Allen's band and shit. Jesus. Really fucking weird, but yeah, I mean, G.G. Allen, a horrible human being, spent a lot of time in jail, always talked about committing suicide live on stage. He'd shit in his hand and throw it at the audience. He'd smear it all over himself and eat it. Piss on the audience. He rapes animals. He says he's raped men and women at their concerts. And then he died of a heroin overdose.
That does not surprise me. I remember the one time I saw G.G. Allen, a buddy of mine had some home videos of his, and he shows him doing an interview with 2 hookers by his side, and he had a heroin needle in the stock of his guitar, his acoustic guitar, just sitting there doing the interview. And it's like, okay, so this guy definitely puts out exactly what he does. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Were they heroin needles or were they?
Don't mix them up.
Probably like
follow up.
Yeah, one of each.
Last recording did on Jim Danger's recording though, was there anything where before the end of the recording where he was like, but I think life's turning around. I just had this interview at this restaurant. I think it's going well.
Yeah, this was actually, he already knew he was going to die when he recorded it. So it was pretty fucking depressing to listen to.
So then why would you apply for
Well, he interviewed way before he knew he was going to die.
Heroin isn't cheap.
His dream was to die in the kitchen.
Well, Greg and I have been saying, like, where's Jim Danger lately? Haven't seen him around. We answered our own question that day. So that was interesting.
And this is Greg with 2 G's.
If you die on a smoke break during work, the insurance payout double. It's like Fight Club.
Ripping that many butts, he must have had a pretty good amount of money to be able to support that kind of habit. Butts ain't cheap.
I think he just didn't eat. If you don't eat, you save a lot of money. So rest in peace, Jim Danger. I didn't know, we probably would have had some cool conversations, had we actually ever talked.
Jim Danger, you want to go out to breakfast? I already had 15 cigarettes for breakfast. Sorry.
Killed.
All right. You got anything else for us, Greg?
Yeah. What about the old Bloodhound Gang? Jimmy Papolini, they're coming back.
Can't wait.
Are they going to be controversial as before?
Jimmy Papolini.
You got it.
Not.
Otherwise, what's the point of coming back?
What do you think is the most controversial song that they have?
Probably Why Is Everyone Picking on Me?
That's right up there. I wish I was gay, so I wish I was queer, so I could get chicks.
I love that song as well too.
Yeah. Also, maybe my favorite titled song, "The Lap Dance is so much better when the hooker is crying."
That's what I was just gonna
When the
say.
stripper is crying.
My dad says that's for pussies. That's also a pretty.
I love that song.
That's a tough one, but a very smart lyricist. One would say that Evil Jared might be one of the most controversial members in the band, the bass player. Dude's he has earned his name.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that video, Ryan. Remember I had like a documentary of the Bloodhound Gang, like it was like the Bloodhound Gang video.
I remember how much it traumatized you. You're like, you could borrow this, but it's kind of like a gay porn.
Yeah, it was. Their poor drummer, man, they like tortured their drummer. So I remember one time he looked like a fucking 12-year-old kid. They like blindfolded him and like put him in an elevator and just like hit all the buttons. They're like, well, good luck. And he was like,
just a little hazing.
I thought it was a joke because you see them on the album cover or whatever it is, and that kid's in there. He looked like the caddy from Happy Gilmore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm like, there's no way that's real. Like that can't be the real person in the band. And then saw them, and holy shit, it was.
Yeah, they probably got him just because of the way he looked. Like, yeah, this guy looks funny. He's hilarious. He looks like he's 12. He's actually like 41.
One of those kids.
Yeah.
They found out that he was 41. They were like, oh, this isn't any fun. Yeah, I don't know. They're controversial, but I think they're purposely controversial too. I think they kind of.
That's why I think
Not like driving bulldozers through walls, but like I think that the lyrics are tongue in cheek and they're
not we want to go to jail controversy, but like we can express the First Amendment and say fuck you, and that's why I think their comeback's going to be offensive and say like fuck you to everybody and be like, and then it sells records, right?
Yeah, I mean, very, very clever lyricist. I mean, he was funny, he was controversial, and he was very talented. I mean, I remember I was talking to her and Dizzle about like nobody really knows about Use Your Fingers. I know we know about Use Your Fingers. Back with Daddy Longleg, who formed Wolfpack, which was an ICP light rap group with like 5 dudes. And like it was like Slipknot meets fucking Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I do own the Wolfpack CD. It's pretty terrible.
It's like Ain't No Rest for the Wicked, right? Oh no, The Wicked Will Come or something like that. What the
Yeah, something wicked this way comes.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I remember loving it.
Yeah, they were.
You didn't.
They were. It was right in the right time for me to find Bloodhound Gang because it was like 96, 97. I was like just getting out of high school, and they were just the kind of like. It was naughty enough you weren't gonna let your parents listen to it, but it was fucking good, and it was like I like it from a writing standpoint because he's so fast. And like Use Your Fingers too was like Beastie Boys aren't cracked because it was 3 of them doing stuff, you know,
super witty, like funny ass shit. But yeah, definitely offensive. But I mean,
Dad, let me show you the song "Kiss Me Where It Smells Funny."
Yeah.
I mean, Erlenmeyer the Butt Pirate. I'm just gonna throw out the names.
I'm looking for
the evils of placenta hustling.
I'm looking forward to their new material.
Yeah, even some of their newer stuff has been pretty good, but again, super controversial. Like my dad says that's for pussies is a very offensive song, but it flows. Obviously, we got like Eminem, Ozzy Osbourne, a ton of. Eminem, like I said, we talked about 2 Live Crew laying the groundwork down. Like when Eminem came in, people were like. But, you know, he was able to get away with much more because so many other bands did it before him or so many other groups, rap groups.
Yeah, we got Kanye West, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even think about R. Kelly. Like, that's got to be it. I mean, we could go Diddy now. You can even go Diddy now.
You guys heard of Mayhem, the Norwegian black metal band?
I read about him this morning a little bit.
Yeah, they were like topping all these lists. I didn't really know who they were, but I mean, just like, the lead singer committed suicide, and then one of the other band members got murdered by another band member, and they were definitely metal.
Yeah, that's metal as fuck.
At the show last night, Jay's girlfriend was wearing a Ghost shirt. I was like, oh shit, Ghost. We were just talking about those guys. Are you familiar with them, Ryan? Ghost?
Yeah, I'm familiar. Not really familiar with their music. I know about them and their whole, I dress like a scary ghost priest.
Yes,
it doesn't do it for me, but if other people like them, it's great.
Hide your kids.
Have you heard of the Ghostface band?
Ooh.
They're really an instrumental band. There's not a lot of lyrics. But...
I bet you their audience really screams.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen that. Manson.
Thank you.
Kiss, you got ICP. It's the face paint that's doing it, obviously.
All right. Yeah, I handle face paint.
The most controversial thing about Kiss was that they were good.
I agree.
More controversial saying they're good.
Yeah,
Greg, you are leagues better of a bass player than Gene Simmons.
Oh, thank you.
He's just got tongue envy.
What's an A chord, or what's the note A? I don't know. Dre's trying to teach me to play songs. He's like, it's in D and it's in E. I was like, dude, I don't know what that is, man. I know E, A, D, G, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You'll get there, buddy. I heard it's best just to pick up things as you get older anyway, and not when you're young. Like learning new languages and things like that. It always sticks better when you're in your 40s.
Oh, for sure. My mind is sharp.
All right, Greg, did you have anything else lined up for this shit or what?
I do not.
What the fuck?
Are you doing?
Oh. Oh, we got the Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols suck. Next. Johnny Rotten's a cunt.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious is a pussy. Next.
He's dead.
How about some Pantera?
Yeah, Pantera is controversial. Yeah.
Dimebag Darrell going out on stage.
Going out like a fucking man.
Yeah.
They had some crazy ass videos back in the day. I was just trying to look up some of their home videos, talking about people that used to torture, like, their roadies and shit, doing contests, pounding down like bottles of Tabasco sauce, paying them to do it, shit like that. Pranks on them while they're in the middle of the bus and shit while they're sleeping. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, they would also dress as cops and pull people over, which is a fucking felony.
Yeah. Yep, he also has a video of himself running naked with his hands cuffed behind his back, running into a fucking wall, running from the cops. It was pretty hilarious. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've seen some of those vulgar videos and shit back in the day. It's like, dude, the amount of liquor they would drink too was absolutely fucking gut-wrenching to watch.
Yeah, literally.
Phil Anselmo, super big piece of shit.
Yep.
I do enjoy Pantera's music. I probably, they always have some standout tracks for me that I'll always come back to. But rest in peace. What is it? Vinny M died back now, isn't it?
There's actually this YouTube video out there of Dimebag Darrell and Frank the Tank getting drunk and streaking in the streets.
Sounds about right.
When I go, I want to get murdered on stage. It's the dream.
With David Grohl, and he was talking about they did this tour where they were thrown into a bunch of metal bands and they made friends with the people of Pantera, and apparently they owned a strip joint down in Texas. And he talks about going across the country trying to, he wanted to specifically go to their strip club. And he lost his wallet along the way and they wouldn't let him into the strip club, the bouncers, because he says, well, I know Pantera. He's like, yeah, everybody fucking knows Pantera. No ID, you don't get in. So they fucking didn't let Dave Grohl into the fucking strip joint.
I was in Nirvana. Sure you were, buddy.
I'm a Foo Fighter.
You look like generic Dave. Get out of here.
He's controversial as well, too. Cheating on his wife. Fucking totally ruined their image. He was thought of as such a cool guy and a rock star. I mean, Ryan and Seamus really love the Foo Fighters, and I was like, yeah, they're all right.
We said she's just a friend.
Yeah, but rock stars, they're known to be national hoes when it comes to that stuff. So was it really a surprise?
I wasn't so fucking surprised. I was like, oh, a rock star fucking around on his wife. Never heard of that one before.
Right. What about Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age? He's kind of a piece of shit. There's that video going around where he's playing guitar and he straight up sees that girl and just kicks her right in the face with the camera.
Jesus.
It made me think less of them a little bit. Oh yeah, you look it up. You see him there. He sees her. She's just doing video work.
It's
No photos. That'd be a great video. A good transaction. Show him kick and then show her go to the pit. I'm making it.
What was I say? What about Afro Man? You knocked some chick upside the head on stage with a bass guitar.
You know,
It was.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
it is. It
He
is.
fell off the stage at Wally's.
But it was because he got high though.
the most surprising thing about that story is I didn't even know Afro Man played bass.
Right? He probably just picked it up.
Look, I actually got invited to go cook for Afro Man this summer, so I'll update you on whatever's going on with him.
He usually plays Wally's every year.
Is there going to be like special edibles involved?
Well, it's this cannabis fest that we got invited to go cook for. And Afro Man's put on this cannabis fest in Northern Maine, and we'd love to have you come cook for him. I'm like, all right.
Northern Maine, damn, that's far.
It's when you show up with a bunch of like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and be like, I was gonna cook you some food, but then I got high.
And these sandwiches had been in my pocket the whole ride up.
Bring your bass guitar just in case you got to hit him.
Defend myself. All right. Well, I guess, you guys got anything else?
Well, the only one I'll bring up, and it is controversial because you get the sound as soon as you say it, is Nickelback. They're controversial because the fucking fans hate them. Like
His hair is
they're like a meme, and it's too late. Like you're never going to be taken seriously ever again.
I don't think Nickelback is great, but I don't think Nickelback is as bad as everybody says they are.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Nickelback, Creed, Three Doors Down. Fuck all those motherfuckers.
Creed and Three Doors Down has good songs. You're just
no, they don't. Oh my fucking god! Who are you guys?
With arms wide open.
What about Puddle of Mud? She fucking hates me.
They're all the same. They're all they suck.
Controversial when Puddle of Mud tried to cover Nirvana. Do you remember that? That's one of the funniest videos ever.
I don't know. Nirvana is way overrated in my opinion.
Really? I love Nirvana. I think Nirvana is great.
Well, you know what? If I respond to the Nirvana's overrated comment, this is going to go for another 40 minutes. So I'm going to pretend I didn't hear it, and I'm going to move on.
That's topic because I'll be happy to discuss that on my podcast if you ever want to come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a good
Why
topic.
wouldn't I want to discuss the most influential band of all time? But we don't have time to discuss that now.
That does sound like a good future discussion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's our show. I want to let you all know you're a beautiful, beautiful audience. We're obviously repping the You Run Podcast Network. All right. Obviously, we're killing it. Probably the greatest podcast of all time. Greg.
Yeah, you can find us on All Things Podcast, Apple Pod, Spotify. Follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook. If you want to donate to our Patreon and get episodes up to a week early, it's just as low as $1 a month. Like Ryan said, we rep the You Run Podcast, yourunpodcast.com. Find our show and all our fellow members' shows on there and give them a follow and a listen, but definitely give all our shows a listen because we need it. We love
5-star reviews.
5-star reviews.
Thank you. We love you.
E-Biddy and Hearn Dizzle, where can we find more about your podcast? Tell us everything.
So you can go to pod.link and find all the different streaming services we're on there. We're on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all sorts of shit. Pandora is not on the list. But if you want to email us, tell us what the fuck you're doing, you can do that by going to WTFRUdoingPod@gmail.com. And we're also on Facebook and more or less on Instagram. We're still getting started there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming, gentlemen. And keep in mind one thing, ladies and gentlemen, one thing only. That in Crust we trust. Wow.
Same. Trust.
Stuff crust.